Hi there, I'm Karen from Canada, been serving in Africa, and I want to tell you a story about a quiet sort of man who lived with a not very quiet, not very happy wife. And one day, she stayed in bed in the dark, as was her habit, grouchy, while he got dressed, and as was his habit, went down into the garden to enjoy the light of the day. And as he was down there, he looked around and noticed the warmth of the sun and the color and the scent of the flowers. And out of the corner of his eye, he saw something he never expected. There was a unicorn, and the unicorn was munching on some flowers. And he got so excited, he went running back to the house, up the stairs, knocked on the door, heard his grouchy wife say, "What do you want?" And he came in and he said, "There's a unicorn in the garden." And she turned to him, turned on the light, growled, "The unicorn is a mythical beast. You are crazy. Leave me alone." Turned her back, and he walked away sadly. And feeling bad, he went back outside because the light and the sun and the flowers would make him happy. And there was the unicorn, still there. This time it was munching on some tulips. Hmm, it likes flowers, thought the man. So he went and he pulled a lily, and he walked close to the unicorn, and the unicorn didn't seem afraid. It came closer and bit the lily and ate it up. The man was so excited he threw his hands up, ran back to the house, up the stairs. This time he didn't knock. He went right into the bedroom and said, "Dear, the unicorn ate a lily." She was grouchier than ever. She turned on the light. She glared at him. She said, "I told you, the unicorn is a mythical beast. You are a loony and you belong in the loony hatch." And she picked up the phone as he was leaving the room and made a phone call to the doctor saying, "My husband is crazy. He's telling me he sees a unicorn in the garden. I think you better send people with a straitjacket for this one." And she slams down the phone. And she's getting dressed because she knows they're going to come to her house. And he goes back out into the garden and wanders around and sort of feels sad about his angry, unhappy wife. And he hears sirens coming. But he stays out in the garden. And the doctor's in the house with his wife, thinking that she seems a little more agitated than a normal person should. And he asks her questions. "Is it true that your husband said there's a unicorn in the garden?" And she's carrying on, "Yes, he did, and he's crazy, and this man is nuts." And she's getting more and more excited. And as she's carrying on, the doctor motions to the men with the straitjacket. He calls them over, and they tie her up, bind her arms, and have her all ready to go. And the quiet, happy man comes walking in, and the doctor says, "Before we go, I have just one question. Is it true what your wife says? Did you tell her that you saw a unicorn in the garden?" And the man very quietly looks at the doctor and says, "Of course not. The unicorn is a mythical beast." The doctor said, "That's just as I thought. Your wife is as loony as a jaybird. We'll take her away now." And as they leave, the quiet man smiles a quiet little smile. And the moral of the story is, don't count your loonies before they're hatched. There's also another moral. Those who live in the light will see the light, and those who live in the dark see only dark. And the third moral is the same thing that Jesus taught us. Don't judge others, lest you yourself be judged. Thanks, and go feed a unicorn.